Welcome back, Caistrology family, and if you're new here, welcome. My name is Cailin, and on my channel I post monthly horoscope videos, monthly tarot pick-a-card predictions, and content related to spirituality and occult knowledge. So if this is the kind of content that you're interested in, please hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified every time I post a new video. As for this month, for November 2020, it is wild, guys. We've got 3 planets that are finally turning direct. We've got Jupiter and Pluto forming their 3rd and final conjunction in the sign of Capricorn. And we've also got a full moon eclipse at the end of the month. So guys, if you're only going to watch one video today, please watch for your ascendant sign, and you can certainly watch for your sun and moon signs as well. But without further ado, let's just dive straight in. Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon and Risings. Welcome to your November 2020 horoscope. This month is kicked off by Mercury finally being direct in your 6th house in the sign of Libra, which means that any miscommunications or misunderstandings that you've had with employees can finally be resolved. On another level, if you've been awaiting test results from any kind of doctor or specialist and they've been delayed, you'll finally be receiving those after the 3rd of November. You might have actually been reevaluating your exercise regime and your health habits as a whole. You might have totally changed your lifestyle, what you're eating, how much you're exercising or not exercising, and come up with some new ways that you can help to improve your life in that domain. On the 10th of November, Mercury will be leaving the sign of Libra and entering the sign of Scorpio. And this is in your 7th house, Taurus. Now, initially when Mercury went retrograde, it was in Scorpio before it regressed back to Libra, which means that you might have experienced miscommunications and misunderstandings with your partner, whether that's your spouse, your life partner, your business partner, anyone that you collaborate with, or even your one-to-one clients. You might have just, not been seeing eye to eye with each other. You could have certainly had a full-blown argument with some of these individuals. But in any case, Taurus, these matters are finally being straightened out. And if you've been waiting for paperwork from your business partner, again, your marriage partner, let's just say that you are waiting for documentation to sign contracts, to sign on with a new business partner or person that you're collaborating with, or even if you are severing ties with your spouse and you're waiting on divorce papers from them and they've been dilly-dallying, you'll finally receive the paperwork that you need to either move forward without them or to move forward together, depending which side of the coin you're on. Now, on another note, you could have been reevaluating your relationships as a whole. Perhaps you broke up with someone, or you broke some kind of contract. Let's say it's a business partner, and you felt that you felt at the time that you weren't seeing eye to eye, that you didn't have anything in common anymore and you don't want to work together. Mercury going retrograde and then being direct again can certainly see the ending of relationships in any kind of capacity, or the severing of ties, whether that's you doing that to them or them doing that to you. Now, on a different front, Venus has been in your 6th house in the sign of Libra from the end of October, and Venus will stay there until the 20th of November. So you can enjoy improved relationships with employees. You might simply be enjoying more time with your pets at home. And if you have made these rather large health habit changes or lifestyle changes that I mentioned earlier, they will start getting easier for you. Whether you had to reassess things, or you were told by your doctor that you can't have sugar anymore, or you were diagnosed with some kind of health issue, Venus being in your 6th house makes it easier to adapt to these changes health-wise. On a totally different level, You could simply just be enjoying going back into the office every day because the 6th house rules our daily work environment. Now, Taurus, on the 12th of November, Pluto and Jupiter will form their 3rd and final conjunction in the sign of Capricorn, which is in your 9th house. These two planets get together every 12 to 13 years, so we'll only see a handful of them in our lifetimes, so that this is a pretty large event, obviously. Now, every time Pluto and Jupiter are conjunct, the conjunction brings about some kind of crisis that we have to deal with. Now, the fact that it's in the 9th house means that it could pertain to any of the following, whether that's one or more things. First and foremost, it could be a crisis regarding your belief system, whether that is religious, spiritual, or otherwise. You know, you could be an atheist, you could have been converting religions, and Taurus, you would have seen this epiphany or crisis occur around April, on the 4th of April, in fact. And so you had a change of heart, change of direction. You might have had a spiritual awakening at this time, and it would have been difficult to deal with and to navigate. But ultimately, Taurus, whatever crisis you go through, now that we're in November and we're coming out the other end, you are better off for it, because it is a fated event. This was going to happen no matter what. Now, for those of you who didn't have a change of faith or a spiritual awakening, this could have manifested in the form of your higher education. Perhaps you were studying something, whether that was long term, you spent many years studying to, let's say, become a doctor, and then all of a sudden you decided that you want to pursue the law. You could have just had a complete 180 turn in what you were studying and what you were pursuing. So that might have manifested in that way for some of you. For others of you, the 9th house represents travel. So you might have actually had a totally revised plan to up and move your entire life overseas. Perhaps you wanted to relocate, whether that was for, whether it's for 6 months, Taurus, for 5 years, or indefinitely, you're moving and you're deciding you're never going to look back. That's all represented by this conjunction between Pluto and Jupiter. And just by the way, Taurus, that sound that you can hear is my cat Franklin eating. So just ignore it. Hopefully he won't be long. Now, on the 14th of November, Mars will be direct in the sign of Aries, which means that this will be happening in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house represents the dream realm. It represents sleep as a whole, spirituality, meditation. It is another house that is associated with foreign travel, and it is the house that represents our subconscious self, and it also represents any deep-seated fears or phobias that we have, that we either aren't even aware that we have inherited from a past life and now we're experiencing it in this incarnation, or perhaps it's a fear. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been doing readings all day. I can't control what he does, obviously. But anyway, so it could be any of those matters, Taurus, or with the fears and phobias, it could be that you don't know where the fear or the phobia stems from. You could have a fear of flying, and you don't know why, because you've never even been on a plane, or nothing's ever even happened to you on a plane. But in any case, Taurus, with Mars being direct in your 12th house, this indicates that you can actually work through and conquer your fears and phobias. So for the last 2 months, with Mars being retrograde there, you've probably, if it is under the umbrella term of fears and phobias that you've been experiencing. Just remember, this is a general reading, Taurus. If it is that, you could have some kind of psychological breakthrough, whether that's from seeing a psychologist, because the 12th house represents psychology. It could be through some kind of occult service, whether that's astrology or tarot, or maybe you've even done some deep introspective work to really, nut out what these issues are and why they're there. On a completely different level, for some of you other Taurians, you might have just had a very disturbed sleep. I'm a Taurus, and I can tell you now, I've had the wackest dreams. Some of them have been really like odd or violent, or in my dreams, I've been like yelling, and then I wake up and my voice is like completely hoarse, and I sleep with my husband next to me, and I've never like yelled in my sleep or anything. Tangent aside, your sleep quality will improve, Taurus, which is great. And you might have been feeling quite anxious. If it's not, let's just say that your sleep quality is fine. Maybe it's that during your waking hours, you feel like you can't actually rest, or you're not recuperating, and you're just feeling really drained from energy, because Mars represents, Mars is the Energizer Bunny of the zodiac, and when it goes into the 12th house, it's just like a drain. It's like sucking out your energy. So from middle of November, and certainly from the first week of January, you will feel completely differently. Your sleep will improve. You will not be feeling anxious anymore. Mars will be in your first house, which is the house of yourself. So you'll have more energy, and things will just, go back to the way that they should, because a Taurus who doesn't get proper sleep is a very unhappy Taurus. Now, on the 15th of November, we have a new moon in Scorpio, and that is at 23 degrees Scorpio, and it's in a wide conjunction with Mercury at 5 degrees. So this is occurring in your 7th house, Taurus, and this new moon conjunct Mercury is in a wide opposition with Uranus, which is at 8 degrees Taurus. So whenever we see a new moon, which is every month, I might add, we experience a new beginning in whichever house that new moon is occurring. So in your 7th house, it represents partnerships and relationships of all kinds, which I previously mentioned. And the fact that Uranus involved gives some kind of unexpected twist to whatever this new beginning is. It is positive in nature though, Taurus, but with Uranus, the planet of sudden change, shocking events, and swift upheavals, it'll just be something that is unexpected, that's coming out of the blue for you, Taurus. So it could be a proposal. So you could receive a marriage proposal, and this will be you receiving it because the unexpected changes is happening. Oh, actually, no, it could be that you are planning a surprise proposal for someone, and that it happens within 4 weeks from the new moon. So let's say 15th of November through to mid-December, you could be doing a surprise proposal, or it could be that you are embarking on a new relationship. Perhaps you've been dating for a long time, or however long, but you're taking it to the next level. Again, you could be proposing this to your partner, or they could tell you, hey, I want to go exclusive, let's make this official. So that could occur. On a totally different level, you could receive a proposal from a potential new business partner. Someone wants to go in business with you, or you want to ask someone to go into business with you, and whoever's on the receiving end, they're taken by surprise. That's not to say that this is not going to happen. It's just that either you or them were just thinking that, the other party wasn't interested, or maybe it's that you have some kind of idea which is Uranian in nature. So it could be related to astrology, it could be related to technology, modern science, anything that is futuristic or avant-garde in nature. In any case, Taurus. Lastly, with the new beginning, it could just be that your life partner or even your business partner has some huge new opportunity for them. So they could have some powerful new beginning start, or some unexpected new beginning start in their life. Moving along, on the 20th of November, Venus will be entering the sign of Scorpio, which is your 7th house. So your 7th house is very, very activated this month, Taurus. It's all about your one-on-one relationships and partnerships. With Venus here in the 7th, you can enjoy time in these partnerships. You can enjoy your relationship or your marriage. You can experience more intimacy. You can experience more harmony. The two of you are now more on the same page than ever before. And, you know, the decisions that you want to make or that your partner wants to make, you're agreeing with each other. And it's the same thing with your business partner. Things are now going swimmingly, whereas before there was, you know, conflict, or at least, you know, not being able to see each other's point of view, but that's all behind you. So this actually is a great time for existing love and new love to come into your life. I just want to say it could be a new relationship altogether. It doesn't have to be a proposal. It could be that someone new enters your life. So on the 20th of November, we will also be seeing Sagittarius season starting. So the sun will be changing signs from Scorpio in the 7th house and moving into the 8th house. Wherever the sun goes, that is where the matters of that house become illuminated and the focus of your attention, or at least partly the focus of your attention for the month, because the sun changes signs every month. Now in the 8th house, your attention or focus could be on one or more of the following: your mutual resources, the money or the dividends that you make from your assets, or the money that you make from the work that you do with one-on-one clients, if you work with clients one-on-one. It could also represent a focus on anything to do with the occult, whether that is astrology, here we are, tarot, it could be meditation, Reiki, energy healing, numerology. Honestly, this, you know, just Google the occult. I dare you, you'll get a kick out of it. But anyway, Taurus, if it's not any of that, it could be that there is a focus on your sex life, which is represented by the 8th house, or psychology, because the 8th house is one of the houses that rules psychology. So maybe you're either seeing a psychologist, or you are just delving into any deep psychological issues or traumas that you have. Now on the 29th of November, we will see Neptune direct in the sign of Pisces, which is in your 11th house. Taurus, Neptune is retrograde for 5 months, approximately, every single year. So it's not like it's an energy that you're not accustomed to, but when it does go direct, maybe it's just me, but I can feel a change in the air. Like I can perceive the change in how I'm feeling towards whichever house it's transiting. In the 11th house, this can be clarity surrounding your friendships, your friendship network, or your wider network in general, or it could be some kind of clarifying conversation, or you know, how you feel about your relationship with your older sibling or older siblings, but more specifically your immediate older sibling. On a totally different level, it could be clarity surrounding your long-term goals and aspirations. And I don't mean your goal for the next 6 months or what you want to do after lockdown. I mean long term. Lastly, Taurus, we have a full moon eclipse in Gemini, and this is occurring in your second house. Full moons in general are associated with the ending of cycles, the culmination or completion of a cycle. It's also a time for celebration and harvest as well. So basically, Taurus, with this occurring in your second house, the second house represents your financial income. And I don't mean your mutual resources with your partner. I mean just you, just your income. The second house also represents rules over your finances and your valuables. So, and your self-worth. Anything that you value is represented by the second house. So with this full moon eclipse occurring in your second house, you could see a large bonus sum of money or simply an increase in your personal finances. You could receive some valuable or possession, and on a totally different level, you actually could be closing the door on one financial income stream. So let's just say that you have 2 jobs, and obviously that's two sources of income to your personal financial income. You could be ending a cycle or completing a cycle with one stream of income, which therefore would be one of these jobs that you have. And even though your resources might take a dip in that respect, maybe this will allow you more time to focus on the other stream of income. On a completely different level, Taurus, you could simply experience a huge boost in your self-confidence, your self-worth, how you value yourself. And all of that is going to be very positive. Whatever the outcome is of this particular full moon eclipse, it will be positive. And I should add that eclipses, the energy of it will be felt for the entire month. So from the beginning of November, you might get this sense that change is in the air. You're on the precipice of some large change. And the full moon, the actual events of the full moon eclipse, or I should say the outcome, can take place anywhere between the eclipse itself and 6 months. Generally, we say 3 to 6 months, but let's just say, 6 months from the end of November. So between now and May. I'm just getting excited because I'm a Taurus, and now I'm thinking about how this is going to impact me. But anyway, it's not about me right now. It's about you guys. It's about all of us Taurians. And that is all that I have for you guys today. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more content from me, please subscribe to Caistrology. Taurus, enjoy your month ahead, and I will see you next time.